Tampa Stadium is rocking as 72,000 have turned out to watch their Buccaneers take on the Chargers. The Bucs tell of their own destiny. A victory today gives them NFC Central Division title. San Diego has to win, but that alone will not be enough. They'll need help from Seattle today as the Seahawks go up against first place Denver. San Diego brings the most powerful offense in the NFL into Tampa. Quarterback Dan Fouts has already thrown for more than 4,200 yards and 31 touchdowns. But he could run into a lot of trouble. The Bucs have the toughest pass defense in the league. They've allowed only 8 touchdown passes all season. While Fouts leads the league in most of the statistical categories, a guy named Doug Williams has been quietly shredding defenses for the past 3 weeks. A 66% completion mark. He's led the Bucs to 3 consecutive victories, and today he could have a field day throwing against a San Diego secondary that is dead last in pass defense. Williams' favorite target, number 89, Kevin House. He has 8 touchdown catches. If he gets loose, it could be a long day for Don Coryell's Chargers. For San Diego, the biggest question of all is the status of this man, Chuck Muncie. He's suffering from a severe groin injury. It is still uncertain whether he'll play. So, for the Bucs, a chance to clinch the NFC Central. For San Diego, it is a simple case of survival. NBC Sports presents the best of the National Football League. Today from Tampa Stadium, it's the San Diego Chargers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Everybody, I'm Phil Stone. Working with me today, the former wide receiver with the San Francisco 49ers, Gene Washington. Temperature in Tampa, 70 degrees. There should be no wind factor whatsoever. 4 to 8 mile per hour winds out of the east. And there's a possibility of rain over Florida. Bill Capisa is set to kick it away. And James Brooks will take it for the Chargers at the 4. A good return for San Diego out across the 32-yard line as Dan Fouts comes on. Fouts will quarterback James Brooks. Chuck Muncie will start today. That's good news for Charger fans. The receivers, Joyner, Wes Chandler, Kellen Winslow. The offensive line, Billy Shields, Doug Wilkerson, Mason, Ed Wyden, Russ Washington. For the 23rd time in Tampa's last 24 home games, the stadium is sold out. 72,128 seats, all occupied.
And an interesting matchup today, Phil. The Chargers are going against one of the stingiest defenses in the league. Tampa's only given up 8 touchdowns the entire season.
Fouts, short drop. A flare pass to Wes Chandler. He's out across the 40-yard line. Wes Chandler playing his college ball about 2 hours up the road here at Gainesville, University of Florida. We take a look at the Tampa Bay defensive unit, and as Gene said, a very, very good one. The defensive line, they play a 3-4. Stalls, Dave Logan, Leroy Sum. And the linebackers, Hawkins, Johnson, Richard Wood, and Hugh Green. Defensive backs, Thomas Washington, Neil Colsey, and Cedric Brown. Second down and 2. Chandler will be stopped. Andy Hawkins sniffed it out beautifully.
One of the things you don't do very well against this Tampa defense, particularly their linebackers, is run wide. All 4 of these guys have tremendous quickness. You'll see Chandler getting the ball here on a reverse. This team is a reading defense. Those down linemen, they take on the blocks and read, which allows their linebackers to flow. You're not going to make a living running wide against this defense.
Now San Diego had it, 2nd and 2, and now it's 3rd and almost 10. The lone setback, Chuck Muncie. Fouts. Intended for Kellen Winslow at the 40-yard line, and it is incomplete. And the Chargers will have to kick it away. Hugh Green defending. And listen to this crowd. George Roberts standing at his own 18-yard line, averaging about 41 yards a kick. An end-over-end kick.
Not a very good one.
And it'll be down at about the 26-yard line by John Capoletti. A 41-yard punt, no return. Tampa Bay will have the football, and there's the man who will lead this ball club. Doug Williams, the running backs, James Wilder. Ricky Bell will start at tailback for an injured Jerry Eckwood. Receivers, Theo Bell, the former Steeler. Kevin House, what a job he has done. Tight end is Jimmy Giles. The offensive line, Gene Sanders, Snell, and Yarno are the messenger cards. Here come the Buccaneers. House is split wide to the right. Theo Bell at the top of your screen. In the slot is Jimmy Giles. He's in motion to the near side. Pitch comes this way. It is Bell. And he will be nailed for a loss back at the 25-yard line. It is Wilbur Young. Defensive line for San Diego. Leroy Jones was supposed to start. He has not. Wilbur Young will start in his place. Kelcher, Johnson, and Woodcock. The linebackers, Lyndon King, Bob Horn, and Woody Lowe. And the defensive backs, Buchanan, Ellis, Shaw, and Clint Edwards. Second down and 11 now. Giles in motion. And Williams will try and put it in the air. And he tries to release it under heavy pressure from Louis Kelcher.
I think they're going to rule that he was down. With that new situation, if a defensive lineman or a linebacker gets the quarterback, in order to avoid injury to the quarterback, the officials are going to blow it dead. You can see that Williams is back here. He's looking for someone, but San Diego does a good job. Tries to get rid of it here, but it's too late. Louis Kelcher hasn't wrapped up the official rule that it's a sack.
So a loss of about 10 more yards, Gene. The Chargers now with 42 quarterback sacks behind the Jets, Oakland, and Detroit. 3rd and 22 with the shotgun. Little flare pass near side. And it is Ricky Bell who really takes a shot there from Allen Ellis. A punting situation for the Bucs. The San Diego, barring an absolutely horrendous punt, will have the ball in great field position, Gene.
As you mentioned before, Ricky Bell hasn't seen an awful lot of action this year, as he only carried the ball 28 times. Trying to swing the ball out to him in the right flat, get the football to him and let him have a little open room, but it's just not a good pass from number 12, Doug Williams.
Larry Swider will kick it away. James Brooks, the lone return man. Swider averaging almost 43 yards a punt this year. That's a good snap. All the time in the world to get it away. And Brooks will take it at the 47. And he dives to the 42-yard line. And a flag is down. A 40-yard punt for Larry Swider. Jim Obradovich was there on the stop. And holding against the Chargers. So a decent return will be nullified. You take a look at San Diego head coach Don Coryell.
There's John McKay for the Buccaneers. The thing that San Diego must do on offense against Tampa is that they must be patient.
Number 37,
Tampa,
illegal use of the hands on the run back. First down.
Tampa's defensive theory is that they're going to make you throw the ball underneath. They're not going to give you anything cheap. No big touchdowns.
11:49 to play here in the first period. There's a timeout. We'll be back in just a moment. Here comes San Diego. The Chargers' second possession today. No score from Tampa Stadium. Muncie will try the left side. And tremendous pursuit. Hugh Green is there, the rookie out of Pittsburgh. And, Gene, when you look at this Buccaneer defensive team, they don't have a tremendous amount of stars, but they just play consistently well.
Well, if you look at their 4 linebackers, they're as good as any group in the league. And the thing that I mentioned before is that they have great pursuit. There's number 53, Hugh Green, who came up on that tackle. But you know the guy who really made that play? The free safety, number 34, Cedric Brown.
Second and 8, bounce. A screen pass to Muncie.
It may be.
It's an incomplete forward pass.
Let's look at what San Diego has done already. They've thrown 2 screen passes. They threw one out to West Chandler. They tried to throw that one out to Muncie. They know that you're not going to make a living throwing the ball downfield against Tampa because they get 5 people underneath. They have their 4 linebackers and the strong safety comes up. So Fouts will drop back and he'll look at a wall of 5 defenders and then 3 beyond that. Tampa does not get a great pass rush, however.
It is 3rd and 8 from the 50-yard line. Joyner, what a catch for Charlie Joyner. And he'll have the first down. John Holt is there on the stop. Norris Thomas for the first down of the ball game for either team. 34-year-old Charlie Joyner. 483 career catches now. 12th on the all-time NFL list. Charlie Taylor is first with 649 catches. Charlie has a little bit of receiving to do. 1st and 10, San Diego. The ball at the Tampa 41-yard line. Chuck Muncie. Oh, and he has found running room. Another first down at the Buccaneers 28-yard line. Hugh Green is there again, but got there about 12 yards too late.
I talked with some of the Charger players before the game, and they say the best place to run against Tampa is straight at them because their theory is to take on the blockers and read and try to get lateral pursuit. So what you have to do is go right at them.
Now you take a look at it again.
There's a secondary. These guys are known throughout the league as being hitters. They're not afraid to come up there and put their helmets in.
1st and 10. Ball spotted, 27-yard line. Flare pass to Kellen Winslow. And the guy he bounced off.
Number 41, Norris Thomas, came up there and gave him a real shot. But I think he got the worst of that action. You see he's getting up a little gingerly. As a matter of fact, he may go off the field. Take a look at this. There's Kellen Winslow. Boom! Oh!
Now Kellen Winslow leads the AFC. 77 receptions coming in, 10 of those for touchdowns. Redskins leading the Baltimore Colts in the first quarter, 7-0 at RFK Stadium. Theismann to Virgil Say, 38 yards away, and St. Louis leads the Giants. 2nd and 10. Fouts right down the middle. Touchdown, Eric Seaver. Now, when you play in Tampa Stadium, Gene, it is very, very important if you're going to beat the Buccaneers to get ahead early.
Well, the Chargers have done that. They got Seaver isolated, I think, on number 59, Andy Hawkins. There seemed to be a little confusion in the defensive secondary as we watched Fouts throw the ball. He gets it over the head. I think that's Hawkins. Yeah, number 59, Andy Hawkins. But the confusion came in when 41, Norris Thomas, went out and was replaced by number 21, John Holt. And they really weren't set on their defense.
Well, Benershka from the hole of Ed Luther to try and make it a 7-0 game. And he does it. And don't you know, Mr. Coryell is an awfully happy man. 9:03 to play in the first period. It is San Diego over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 7-0. Now the man on your left, the rookie out of Maryland, on the receiving end of his 3rd touchdown catch of the year, Eric Seavers. 27-yard reception, the longest against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year. Only the 9th touchdown pass thrown against this team. Well, that is saying something.
Well, there's a reason for that, because they don't usually make many mistakes, particularly when they're down against their own end zone, and usually they play zone defense in that area. That's why I think that there was a mistake in their coverage.
The kick goes to James Owens. And he's got running room across the 25-yard line. The speedster out of UCLA. Hank Bauer was there. Called him the howitzer in San Diego. Well, you know something about this guy, Gene. I played against him a few times.
He beat us so much when I was at Stanford that it's almost tough to look at him, but I forgive him now. I forgive him now.
What a job he has done here in Tampa Bay. From the 26-yard line, second man, it is Ricky Bell. And the Chargers, an excellent job. Back just to about the line of scrimmage. We're going to leave you here in Tampa Bay. Let's go to Brian Gumbel in Studio 6A. Brian?
All right, Phil, up in Foxborough, the Buffalo Bills are in the playoff hunt going against the Patriots today. They've broken on the board first. Number 48, Roosevelt Leaks going in from 5 yards out. It's Buffalo 7, New England nothing. Phil?
Well, that's a very, very important game for the Buffalo Bills. They take on the Miami Dolphins at the Orange Bowl next Saturday right here on NBC. In motion, Kevin House. Williams on 2nd and 11 will put it in the air. He's got a man. The flag is down. James Wilder has the catch, and Willie Buchanan upends him. And I believe it's going to be holding.
That's usually the call when the flag is thrown in that area. There's the indication. That's too bad because that was a beautifully executed play. James Wilder, who's done so much for this team running the ball, is also an excellent receiver. That would have been a 12-yard gain.
And it would also have given Tampa Bay its first down of the day. Let's listen.
68 offense, holding, still 2nd down.
Mr. Yarno.
Interestingly enough, Gene, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 0-3 against AFC Western Division clubs. 2nd down and 19. The ball now at the 17. Bell and Wilder, the running backs. Out of the eye. That was to the 2nd man through. And I believe that was James Owens. It is James Owens.
James Owens has a tremendous amount of speed. There you see number 74, Louis Kelcher, on your screen, the big guy in the middle. Number 26, James Owens, is going to come right through where Kelcher was. Louis turns around, but it's a little too late. You know, James Owens was out in San Francisco for a while. As a matter of fact, I think he was their #1 draft choice. Couldn't seem to find a place to play out there. Has come to Tampa, really feels at home, and it's where he was at UCLA, and that's at running back.
From the shotgun, Kevin House in motion. Williams and House scramble. He's got running room and a lot of it. Wow. Doug Williams around the right side for 16 yards. And look at his rushing statistics.
Well, Doug Williams is the leading quarterback in rushing in the NFC. He has 183 yards coming into this game. Everyone knows about the great arm that he has, but he's a tremendous athlete, and he can run. As you said, he picked up 16 yards. Those Chargers on defense, they're very concerned about the speed of Kevin House, so they're going to be getting back there as quick as they can.
Taking very deep drops. That's the first down for Tampa Bay today. From the eye, short drop. There. Oh my goodness. Kevin House. It is Theo Bell, and he will score.
There he is, number 83, Theo Bell, who really hasn't figured in that much this year in the big pass plays. You've heard a lot from number 89, Kevin House. But in this situation, it's a 58-yard touchdown for Theo Bell, who came from Pittsburgh. Allen Ellis made the mistake trying to come up and make the tackle before he was really set. Theo Bell caught that little quick pass, got away from Ellis, and it was touchdown. There's the extra point.
Bill Capice tacks it on. 7 minutes, 3 seconds to play in the first period. We have a tie game in Tampa Bay. For the Buccaneers, a 73-yard drive. Took them only 5 plays, a minute 49. Now they have tied the ball game.
That was his 7th touchdown for Doug Williams, over 50 yards.
That's absolutely incredible. Boy, they can throw deep. Steve Bartkowski, the Atlanta Falcons, calls Doug Williams the best passer in the league. Bill Capice is set to kick it off from the 40-yard line. The penalty against the Chargers on the point after. James Brooks will field it at the goal line. Good return for James Brooks. You know, you get back to that touchdown, Gene. We said off the top of the show that the San Diego Chargers defensive secondary would be awfully hard-pressed today.
Well, as we look from ground level, you'll see Theo Bell catch this ball. We call this just a hitch pass. And what Theo does is he moves to the football. Allen Ellis has a beat on him, but he misses the tackle, and now it's just a foot race. And there's no catching number 83, Theo Bell, who, although coming into this game only had 17 receptions, has great speed. Pittsburgh does not make many mistakes drafting people. This guy's a good athlete, Theo Bell.
Bounce. A flare to James Brooks. And the little guy's out near the 23-yard line, possibly the 24. And Hugh Green was there. Neil Colsey also in the area.
Again, San Diego, Bouts looking downfield. All he can see are those linebackers back there and deciding to throw the little check off out in the flat to Brooks. And that's something they're going to have to do an awful lot. But they can be effective. If they can get 5 or 6 yards at a crack, throwing it out into the flat, then Tampa must start to come up, and that's when they can go over their heads.
Hill, Muncie, and he gets nothing. The nose tackle, Dave Logan. The left end, Dave Stalls, were there to shut him off. Take a look at some of this crowd of 72,000 on hand here in Tampa Bay.
And this team plays exceptional football at home, Tampa Bay. You get them fired up here with all of these fans going crazy, they can be very, very tough, particularly on defense. As I mentioned before, and you can't overemphasize it, they have great athletes on defense, particularly at the linebacker spots.
Bounce on 3rd and 6. Time near side. Intended for Kellen Winslow. In pursuit was Hugh Green. And San Diego will have to kick it away, give the football back to the Buccaneers.
Phil, you and I did a game early in the season when the Chargers played San Diego. The Chargers played in Chicago. The Bears took them on and challenged the receivers and threw their timing off a little bit. In this situation, you can see Hugh Green trailing Kellen Winslow, but what they did to the Charger receivers was they all got bumps within the first 5 yards and threw their timing off.
George Roberts will kick it away. John Holt is back to receive for Tampa. Oh, a good kick.
Trouble. I think the Chargers have it. Oh, they're lucky.
Tampa Bay recovered. Wow, a 49-yard punt for George Roberts. And the Bucs awfully lucky to come up with that football. Neil Colsey came up with it. Take a look at this. Holt merely muffed the catch.
He made a mistake trying to catch that football in his hands. On a punt, you want to catch that ball in your arms and in your chest. They are awfully lucky.
Wyatt Henderson was right there. He could not come up with it. We'll be back. Well, we talked at the top of the telecast about how important this football game is to both clubs. For San Diego, if they could win today, they will stay in at least one game of the lead of the Denver Broncos and possibly could share that lead if the Broncos lose today.
Tampa doesn't win here, they have to go to Detroit. Detroit is red hot in the Silverdome. I think they're 7-0. Tampa wants to win today. They don't want to have to go up there and try to do it on the last game of the season.
I agree with you 100%. Give right up the middle. It is Ricky Bell. Pardon me, James Owens. Louis Kelcher is there on the stop. Owens in his 3rd year out of UCLA. Buffalo, wow, first quarter over New England, 14-0. Roosevelt Leaks, as Brian Gumbel told you a few moments ago, a 5-yard run. Ferguson to Joe Cribbs from 39 yards out. Well, the Buffalo Bills really putting it together in the second half of this season. 2nd down and 9. Ball at the 24. Play action, Williams. All the time in the world. A little release pass to James Owens, and he could not call it in. Let's go to Brian Gumbel in New York. Brian?
Okay, Phil, as you noted, the Bills have moved ahead of the Patriots 14-0, capping off an 81-yard drive that was completed in 8 plays. Ferguson to Cribbs covered the final 39 yards to move the Bills ahead by 2 touchdowns. Phil?
Thank you, Brian, for that update. Here in Tampa Bay, it is 3rd and 9. The ball at the 25. We are tied at 7-7 with 4:36 remaining in the first period. Three wide receivers for Tampa Bay. Williams goes to the shotgun. In motion is Kevin House. A little relief pass, and wow! Woody Lowe really popped James Wilder. Larry Swider will come on to punt it away for Tampa Bay.
We take a look from the end zone. Doug Williams gets this ball out there, and it looks like a well-thrown ball. The problem is that James Wilder is looking number 51, Woodrow Lowe, right in the face, and he's thinking, what's going to happen when I catch this ball? He's seen Woodrow Lowe hit people before.
Oh, he can definitely hit folks. 4th and 9. Oh, good play. James Brooks will have a return, though. And he has a good return. Johnson on the stop, a 43-yard kick. A good return. Next Saturday, and basketball, NBC Sports. 1st and 10, the Chargers with the ball at their own 48-yard line. Kellen Winslow starts in, now goes out. Second man through is James Brooks, and he is tripped up there. Dave Logan was right there.
Number 65, Dave Stalls, getting underneath that offensive line of the Chargers. I think Capoletti has checked into the area as number 25. John Capoletti is coming to the ball game.
Capoletti and James Brooks now. Jeff Munson will sit down. 2nd and 9. Bounce. Right over the middle, and he's got a receiver. It is Capoletti out of the backfield. Cecil Johnson, Andy Huckins there to bring him down.
Well, John Capoletti is not known for his receiving ability, but I tell you, he does a terrific job here. Look at these linebackers. I talked about how they get their good drops. They're good athletes. Look at the way they react. Tremendous reaction, but Capoletti comes up with the football.
I don't know how he held on, Gene, the way Cecil Johnson stuck his hand right in there. Capoletti only 8 receptions this year. He's not a guy that Chargers like to throw to a lot.
3 wide receivers for the Chargers.
Joyner in motion. Bounce with time. Now we'll have to scramble out. Brooks. And Brooks simply ran right around Richard Wood and into the grasp of Cecil Johnson and Leroy Selman. Short of the first down by about a yard.
There's some nice fancy footwork on his part. Dan Fouts was looking for Charlie Joyner downfield. He'd come in motion and took off down through the seam, but there was nothing there.
Now, I thought for a moment as if the Chargers might go for it on 4th and less than 1. 4th and about a foot, actually.
Don't want to do that in this situation. Not with this team at home. If they were to stop the Chargers, the fans might all go down on the field. I mean, these people are so excited, it's unbelievable. You don't want them to get too excited.
Now, they love their Buccaneers here, and for good reason. George Roberts will kick it away to Theo Bell. Oh, short snap to Capoletti. First down, San Diego. And that is something you do not see a Don Coryell coach team do very often. And delay a game against San Diego will nullify it. Delay a game. The Chargers, Gene, quite simply, are not good at fake plays. It's that simple. They're not good at it.
Well, do they try it very much?
No,
if
they
you
don't.
try it very much, you can't be very good at it. You take Seattle. Let's listen.
2nd count, still 4th down.
Here's the play. You can see he snaps the ball instead of to the punter, right to Capoletti. Jumps over behind his blockers, gets enough for the first down. Fooled me, and I thought in this situation they certainly wouldn't go for it. And Tampa felt the same thing.
Now they will certainly kick it away on 4th and 6. Long count, perfect snap, no rush at all. As Roberts tries the near side. And I believe this one will go into the end zone as Theo Bell just watches it go. A 47-yard kick, 2:08 to play. Tampa Bay will take over, but first let's go to New York and Bryant Gumbel.
Phil, losers of 13 straight, the Colts have managed to do something right at RFK. The right coming from the arm of Burt Jones to the hands of Raymond Butler. A 10-yard strike has deadlocked that ball game at 7. Phil?
Now that's got to be great news. Your name is Mike McCormick. Something he has not seen a whole lot of this year. 2 minutes, 8 seconds to play in the first quarter. In motion, Kevin House. The give is to the only man there. That is James Wilder. And he's stopped for no gain whatsoever. We've mentioned, Gene, that Jerry Eckwood is not playing today. He is suffering from the same thing Chuck Muncie has, a pulled groin. And Eckwood is a big part of this Tampa Bay offense.
Well, he certainly is, and so is Muncie. The problem is with a groin injury, particularly for a guy at the skill position, running back or wide receiver. That's the thing that gives you your thrust, your acceleration. And that's so important when you're in a skill position. You have to, when the ball is snapped, you have to get started quickly. With a groin injury, that's very tough to do.
2nd and 9. Williams 1 of 4 today thus far, but that one completion, a 58-yard touchdown pass. Play action. Now he's 2 of 5. That is James Owens. Pickup of about 5 out to the 25-yard line. Woody Lowe is there to stop him. Owens is only his 7th catch this year.
He's an excellent athlete. As I mentioned before, when he went out to San Francisco, they tried him at wide receiver, then at defensive back. Really never fit in. But now here at Tampa Bay, he's at the place where he feels comfortable, and that's at the running back position. Excellent athlete out of UCLA, world-class hurdler. I tell you, if he gets in that open field, he's very dangerous.
3rd and 4. Tampa 1 of 3 thus far today in the 3rd down department. Little it is Wilder. Well, that's something you don't see Pete Shaw do very often, Gene. He simply missed the tackle.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Pete Shaw's a very sure tackler, very strong, but look at this. Wilder just takes him on, lowers that right shoulder, and knocks him over. Tampa is doing a superb job of getting their running backs out into the secondary. They're taking their wide receivers because San Diego's playing man-to-man, and they're clearing an area of the field, getting their running backs out there. And they have the type of backs, when they get in the open field, they can all catch the ball, and they're extremely dangerous. Picks up 33 yards on the play.
Will be the last play of the first quarter as Doug Williams trots to the near sideline to talk things over with John McKay. Later we'll take a timeout. It is 7-7 from Tampa Bay. Here come the Buccaneers, a first down at the San Diego 41-yard line. Out of the I formation. Long count. Second man is Owens, and he's trying to sneak something through the left side. He'll get maybe 3. Gary Johnson, Louis Kelcher combined to stop him.
Bill, one of the things that has helped Tampa Bay so very much, particularly in the last few weeks, is the play of their offensive line. These guys have been banged up. Guys have been playing in and out of position. But for the last 3 weeks, they've played together, and they've done an outstanding job. There you see number 61, Greg Roberts, who really fires off against Louis Kelcher. Roberts was the Outland Trophy winner, as a matter of fact, at Oklahoma.
Oh, he's a good one. Number 61 down there. 2nd and 5. Williams, plenty of time. Woodcock will drag him down. Williams never ever saw him coming. Interestingly enough, that's only the 17th time this year a Tampa Bay quarterback has been sacked, and that's 2nd in the NFL. Tops in the NFC.
Well, as you mentioned before, Williams does not see number 90, John Woodcock. He's going to try to scramble, but I played with Woody up in Detroit. He's not very big. He doesn't look impressive, but he has a heart as big as a football helmet, and he has very good quickness.
That's the 2nd sack for San Diego today. 3rd and 14 now for the Bucs out of the shotgun. Williams, and Woodcock is there again, and Williams throws it away. Man he was looking for on the near side was James Wilder. And the Bucs will have to kick. What a job this guy has done, particularly over the last 3 games for the Bucs.
His percentages have just been phenomenal. As a matter of fact, against New Orleans a couple of weeks ago, he was 16 out of 24 for 66.7%. And last week against Atlanta, threw for 65%.
Including that big game winner to Kevin House, 71-yarder. They're calling it the most exciting game in the history of this franchise. Larry Swiner. It's a kick, and it's a good one. He tries to bring it to the near sideline. Oh, gets a good bounce to the 10-yard line. And the Chargers will start deep in their own end. It was only a 35-yard punt. But if you're going to boot a 35-yarder, that is where you want to do it.
New York at Three Rivers Stadium. There's a showdown game going on between the Steelers and the Bengals. And the Steelers are holding a 3-0 lead on the strength of a Dave Trout field goal of 48 yards. The ball game's in the second period. Let's go back to Phil Stone and Gene Washington.
Yeah, what if it was, what's his name?
13:34 to play, second period. There you see it. It is tied 7-all. San Diego with a first and 10 at their own 10. Fouts to Joyner. Oh, what a catch as Fouts picks the seam perfectly. 22-yard pickup out across the 30-yard line. San Diego has the most first downs in the NFL, 334, 24 a game.
Fouts takes a quick 5-step drop, throws on time to Charlie Joyner right between the seams. That is an extremely dangerous pass for two reasons. One, you're likely to get it intercepted and it's not perfect. And secondly, your receiver can get killed.
James Brooks slips trying to go through the right side. He'll gain maybe a yard. Take a look at Don Coryell. He knows his football team has to win today, Gene, to have any real shot at all of winning their third AFC Western Division title. They would not be mathematically eliminated, but they would need for the Denver Broncos to lose their final two.
That's highly unlikely. It's do or die today, as you said.
Second and 10. Bounce flag is down. Little out pattern to Joyner. He'll have enough for the first down, but I believe from where the flag was thrown, it will be against the Chargers. Illegal motion, San Diego. Oh, the first down is nullified.
There's Kellen Winslow, who's caught an awful lot of touchdown passes. This time he stays in to help out under protection. Ball is completed out there to Charlie Joyner, but the guy who really made the play was number 21, James Brooks. Was called against Charlie Joyner for being in motion.
That's interesting. Perhaps he was angling towards the line. Turned up field just a little bit too soon. Now, instead of a first and 10 outside the 30, it is second and 15. A little screen pass to Brooks. And he is dragged down after picking up about 3 of those 5 yards they lost. Ed White was out there trying to block. Could not get much. Andy Huckins, pardon me, Cecil Johnson is there to bring him down.
You notice the enthusiasm with which Tampa Bay tackles. That's a part of their defensive theory. Throw the football in front of us, but when you catch the ball, we're going to come up and we're going to punish you. And this team has a well-deserved reputation for really hitting people.
Fouts 9 of 12 for 80 yards thus far and 1 touchdown. Third and 11. Dan going for Joyner. A first down for San Diego. Joyner caught it right in front of Cecil Johnson, turned around and ran right into the arms of Scott Rapley. I'll tell you, when the chips are down and the Chargers need points, this is the guy they go to, Gene.
Well, he's a veteran player, a real student of the game. He's holding his back a little bit. He took a shot there. That hurts. But Dan Fouts, he is not hesitating at all. He is very impressive. He's dropping back there, throwing that ball. And that's what you have to do against this zone defense when they have 5 guys underneath. You can't hesitate at all. And Fouts is not hesitating. He's letting it go.
First and 10. James Brooks right up the middle. On his feet to the midfield stripe before he is shoved back first by Cecil Johnson, and Leroy Selman joined in on the party. Pickup of about 4 yards on the play. 10 minutes, 45 seconds to play in the first half. You take a look at James Brooks, rookie out of Auburn. There have been some outstanding rookie running backs this year in the NFL. You think of Joe Delaney, Randy McMillan,
Brooks, for a guy who's not very big, 5'9", has had tremendous durability.
Averaging over 5 yards a carry. 2nd and 7. A pump to the right side. Now back this way to Brooks. And he is out to the 49-yard line. His footwork did not elude Cecil Johnson. Good look at Dan Fouts. 3rd in the AFC in passing. Leading over 59% of his passes.
That was what we referred to as a double screen. You can see Dan's going to drop back. He's looking to his left, fakes the screen there. Now he's going to get it out to the right side in the center. Number 62, I believe it is. Don Mason gets out in front, puts a good block on someone out there. You can see Dan is not very happy with the results.
Still 3rd and 7. Near side to Wes Chandler. Out of bounds. And a big catch for San Diego. He's out of bounds at the 32. Norris Thomas was there to chase him out. Wes Chandler playing his college ball for then Doug Dickey's Florida Gators. An 18-yard pickup, Gene.
Fouts drops back, looks to the left side of the field, doesn't see anything there, quickly comes back to Wes Chandler over on the right side. Fouts has just been incredible the way he's able to pick up his receivers. As I mentioned before, once he decides to throw the ball, there's no hesitation, and that's the key.
San Diego's offense coming into this game averaging more than 100 yards than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. 1st and 10. James Brooks has some blockers. Turns it up at the 30-yard line. He'll pick up 2, maybe 3. Cecil Johnson is there with Andy Hawkins. Cecil Johnson just attracted to where the ball is. 50 year out of Pitt. Probably going to pick up of 3.
Chargers are moving the ball. They're getting it in little chunks. But if they continue to do this on offense, they're going to wear down the Tampa Bay defense.
James Brooks, the lone running back. A little flare. Uh-oh. Double pass. Throw it to Joyner. And he overthrows Charlie Joyner. Boy, Kellen Winslow can throw. Mike Washington was back there on the coverage. That ball just about a foot too high.
Well, the Chargers are pulling out all the tricks. Throw this little pass out here to Winslow that normally would be a screen, but Winslow winds up, and look at that, a beautiful pass.
Look at that spiral.
That is pretty. Charlie Joyner almost makes a great catch and comes down with it.
You know, we've talked before the game about this concrete wall. There's a score for you. Buffalo over New England, 14-7. We'll talk more about that concrete wall. 3rd and 7. The ball at the 29.
Joyner.
Another first down for San Diego at the Bucs 17-yard line. Gene, we talked about this. All right, let's go for a moment to New York and Bryant Gumbel. Bryant?
All right, Phil, here's that score you just flashed. It comes from Foxborough, the Patriots on the board. Good trap off the left side. Vegas Ferguson, big hole, goes 19 yards. It's 14-7 Bills in the second. Phil, continue your thought.
A wall, Gene, awfully close. There you take a look at it to the back of that end zone. You wonder if maybe the receivers kind of sense that is there. 1st and 10, San Diego. Joyner again. He has it at the 7-yard line. You played wide receiver in this league. You've played in this stadium. Does that wall come into effect? Do you think about that?
Well, actually, the wall is about 10 yards from the back of the end zone. And it's very rare that you'll get down in that situation running full steam ahead. Very rare that it'll happen. However, if it does, it is close enough where there could be a serious injury. You're right. And you wonder why there isn't some sort of padding there, although the chances of it happening are very slim.
Now, we talked to the Bucs director of administration, Herb Gold, before the game, and he said, really, there have been no problems whatsoever. Nobody has been hurt here running into the wall. There you see the measurement. And the Chargers will be about 4 inches short of the first down. Joyner, 5 catches so far for 69 yards. Washington has scored again to take the lead over Baltimore at RFK, 14-7. The beautiful shot of this stadium here in Tampa Bay, where with 7:53 to play in the second period, we are tied at 7-all.
Bill, the report from the bench is that Chuck Muncie has re-injured his groin, which doesn't surprise me at all. With that type of an injury, you go out and you make a real hard thrust, very easy to re-injure. Probably will need to rest for a couple of weeks.
In motion, Wes Chandler on 2nd and an inch. Cappelletti! Touchdown, San Diego! So for the 2nd time here today, the Chargers have taken a lead. For John Cappelletti, that is only his 4th touchdown all year. He's not seen a lot of playing time.
Little misdirection action. Cappelletti gets that football and runs right up the middle. They say the best place to run at the Tampa Bay defense is right at them. He goes in practically untouched. Don Masick, Doug Wilkerson, Ed White, all doing a fabulous job.
Ralph Benershka is on to try to make it a 14-7 game. He has missed 6 extra points this year, 51 of 57. And now he is 52 of 58. That is the most attempts in the NFL in 1981. So, 7 minutes, 32 seconds to play. In the first half, the Chargers have taken a 14-7 lead.
Now there's a place.
Thank you, Bryant. Oh, what a ball game they're having there, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Here we go. Rolf Benershka is set to kick it away. The Chargers, 12 plays, 90 yards. And Rolf's kick will go out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. A flag goes down, and San Diego will have to kick it again. We want to take a look at that touchdown one more time. Something very funny happened on that play.
Well, that's great line blocking. You can see the center. Don Masick does a good job. But watch this official at the top of your screen in the middle. As Cappelletti comes through, ordinarily would spike. Watch the official. Don't spike me with the ball.
He was trying to give the touchdown signal.
Ball.
He's more concerned with getting a football in the chest. Well, the Chargers will kick off now from their own 30-yard line. Now, we mentioned San Diego going 90 yards on that drive last week. The Buccaneers, 3 touchdowns, all of them were more than 70-yard drives. They know something about long drives. Chargers running off over 6 minutes of the clock. Well, it is still dry here in Tampa, but the clouds are hanging over the stadium quite ominously right now. Benershka, a little squiver, and it is fumbled by enough man at the 25-yard line. He takes it out across near the 35-yard line.
I think that was Tony Davis.
It was Tony Davis. And the score out of Green Bay. Oh, for the Packers, burying Bum Phillips and his friends, 21-0 in the 2nd period. Let's take a look at the mascot here for the Buccaneers. Great mascot.
What happens in a situation where the offense scores a touchdown after a long drive and the opposing offense gets the ball? If they don't keep the ball for a while, their defense will have to come back on the field, and they're going to be dead tired.
Excellent point. Williams right over the middle. But Jerry Eckwood is in the game for the first time today. Pete Shaw is there to bring him down. As we said early on, we were not certain if Jerry Eckwood would play today because of that groin injury. There you see how important Jerry Eckwood is to this ball club, and he'll come out again. James Owens is going back in. Eckwood with the groin. Chuck Muncie has already re-injured his groin today. He is out of the game. Williams, 4 of 8, 104 yards and a touchdown. 58-yarder to Theo Bell. Out of the I formation. Second man is Owens. And he's into the San Diego secondary. A first down for Tampa Bay. Well, we talked about the domination of the Bucs here at home. They are 6-1 before their hometown fans.
Well, there's number 55, the middle linebacker for the Chargers. He eludes one block. Then he comes up and puts the stop on number 26, James Owens. Bob Horn doesn't cover the pass very well, but he'll come in and stick you when they run the football up the middle.
Jerry Eckwood has just gone back into the game for James Owens. In motion, Kevin House. No. Little flare pass out to James Wilder. Boy, that was almost picked up. Number 99, Wilbur Young, was out there.
Phil, I couldn't resist it since I was an ex-quarterback. I didn't throw the ball very well, and they moved me to a wide receiver. But he should not have thrown this ball, and that's why that little O came out of me, because number 99, Wilbur Young, you can see him up there waving his hands. Had that been a linebacker, I think it would have been an interception, and it would have gone the other way. I think Doug Williams did not make a wise decision in throwing that football out there.
Well, they avoided the turnover. Tampa Bay, third in the league in fewest turnovers with only 25. Cincinnati leads the league with 21. On 2nd and 10, Doug Williams rolls right. Now unloads for Kevin House. It is tipped up in the air and falls harmlessly to the ground. It is Jimmy Giles. It is not Kevin House. Willie Buchanan back on the coverage. Last week, the Buffalo Bills had a field day against Willie Buchanan, and it makes a lot of sense that the Bucs would come out and try and throw at Willie today.
Willie Buchanan, for several years, was one of the best defensive backs in the entire league. I played against him for many years. He's getting on in age a little bit, but he's had to go back and forth from strong safety to cornerback, and I think he's doing a super job under the circumstances.
It is 3rd and 10. The Bucs 2 of 5 in the third down department coming in. A little screen pass to Wilder. And he will be short of the first down as Woody Lowe comes up and tackles him about 5 yards short of the first down. So Swider will have to kick it away. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
And Channel 4, KNBC, Los Angeles.
Phil Stone and Gene Washington from Tampa Stadium, where with 5:16 to play in the first half, it is San Diego 14, Tampa Bay 7. And Swider all the time in the world to kick it away. James Brooks will let it go.
Good.
Oh, look at this.
It's down. Billy Caesar, I think it is. There he is, number 44.
What a job he did. Now the Chargers, when we come back, will have the football at their own 2-yard line.
Isn't it about
FK in the nation's capital, the Redskins have once again moved in front of the Baltimore Colts. John Riggins going in from 8 yards out, pushing the Redskins in front 14-7 in the second. Let's go back to Phil Stone and Gene Washington.
Here's number 44, Billy Caesar, who made that outstanding play. He got down there, saw the ball was about to bounce into the end zone, and tapped it back. Very heads-up play.
Here come the Chargers. Bounce has 9 completions in a row. League record is 17 by Burt Jones. Season opener this year in Cleveland. Dan completed 16 in a row. James Brooks is out across the 5. He'll get it out near the 7-yard line. Andy Huckins is there to bring him down. Norris Thomas also there on the assist. Chargers' first-round draft choice this year out of Auburn. San Diego now with a 2nd and 7 situation. Ball spotted on the 6, 4:35 to play here in the second quarter. Kellen Winslow is in motion. Bounce, pumps once. Now releases to Brooks. And he has a San Diego first down as Bounce is almost tackled for a safety. What a job Dan did at getting rid of that football.
It couldn't be any closer because, as I mentioned before, if the official feels that the defender has control of the quarterback, watch. But the ball is going forward. That's Hugh Green, number 53, who comes in. Almost gets it for a safety. Outstanding job of getting rid of the football. James Brooks turns it upfield. Does fancy footwork again for the first down.
Brooks is in motion to the top of your screen. To Capoletti, and he cannot hold on. Dave Logan was there. It might have been tipped by Logan. And that breaks the completion streak at 10.
I think you'll see Dave Logan. He gets his hand in the way. He may not have tipped it, but it's like being a catcher in baseball. If the guy swings and gets a foul tip, it's tough to catch.
So it is 2nd and 10. Chargers went 90 yards on their last possession. Here they took over the ball at their own 2-yard line. 2nd and 10. Bounce, sideline, to Wes Chandler, and he has another San Diego first down. Hugh Green is there to chase him out of bounds.
Nice action. Tampa Bay thought that it was going to be another screen pass. San Diego pulled some of its offensive linemen, sent them out to the flat. The linebackers came up to take on the screen, threw it out for about a 12-yard gain for Wes Chandler.
And for Wes Jean, that is 3 catches, 37 yards this afternoon. There you see the time remaining in the first half. Chargers out at their own 28-yard line. And Dan throws it away. Kellen Winslow covered very, very well by Hugh Green, number 53. What a job this rookie out of Pittsburgh has done this year. Interestingly enough, Hugh Green, his jersey number, number 99 at Pitt, only the second number ever retired in the history of the Pitt Panther football program. Tony Dorsett was the first number retired.
Well, he's a hitter. Everyone knows that he has tremendous enthusiasm when he plays a game. But at that linebacking spot, his quickness allows him to be all over the place. Look at this ball.
Washington over the Colts, 21-7. Dan Fouts to Kellen. Again, it is overthrown. And there were 4 defenders around Kellen Winslow.
He was overthrown because there were 2 linebackers in front of him. Let's take a look as he goes from that flank position. He's going downfield, going to turn inside. But there are 2 linebackers underneath him. We can't see him on the left side of the screen, and there's no place for Fouts to get the ball in there any lower.
So a 3rd and 10 situation facing Dan Fouts. San Diego 4 of 7 in the 3rd down department. Chandler, first down San Diego. Another big 3rd down play. And San Diego doing today to Tampa Bay what the Buffalo Bills did to the Chargers a week ago, converting the long 3rd down situations, a pickup of 17.
But take a look at this zone defense. This is a great picture of what a zone defense is. You see those 3 defensive backs back there deep. The linebackers are supposed to take something or anything underneath. But Fouts, again, does not hesitate. As soon as his receiver breaks into an open zone, he delivers the football. That is the key here, not hesitate.
First and 10 Chargers, 2 minutes 44 seconds to play. San Diego moving the football again. That is Joyner in motion. A little quick counter to Cappelletti. So a big pickup. Let's go to Studio 6A in New York and Bryant Gumbel. Bryant.
Well, Phil, at RFK, Colt defenders are playing like a club that's allowing 34 points a game, which they are, and playing like a club that's lost 13 straight, which they have. They're now losing 21-7 to the Redskins. Phil?
Here in Tampa, it is 2nd and 3. The ball on the 47-yard line. Again, Joyner moving to the top of your screen. Near side, here comes James Brooks. And he has another San Diego first down. And that is the 2-minute warning. Cedric Brown on the stop. It is the 12th first down for the Chargers here in the first half. So while we take time out for the 2-minute warning, we tell you the Chargers leading the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 14-7. At the top of this telecast, we were wondering how effective Dan Fouts would be against this Buccaneers defensive secondary. So far, he is 17 of 23. Not a bad afternoon.
Well, I think the important thing is that there is no hesitation at all on the part of Dan Fouts. He knows, he's anticipating so well. When his receivers break into the open zone, he is delivering the football without hesitation. A remarkable performance in the first half.
Of course, Doug Williams not playing badly either. 5 of 11 for over 100 yards and 1 touchdown.
They're just going to have to get the ball back more and hold it on offense, as San Diego has done with their offense here in the first half.
First and 10, San Diego. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. It is James Brooks, the lone setback for the Chargers. Chandler, and he may unload. He's going for Kellen Winslow, and it is thrown out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Early in the first quarter, I was talking about San Diego not using the gimmick plays very often, or the trick plays, and they've really opened their bag full of them today.
They have opened up everything. First, Winslow throws the ball. Wes Chandler, he gets in on the action. Almost gets it. Throws it a little out of bounds. But they're going for it, they have to win today. Let's face it.
Chandler goes wide left. There you take a look. The Giants leading the St. Louis Cardinals 10-3. Second and 10. San Diego. 3 wide receivers for the Chargers. Chandler has the ball. Another San Diego first down at the 29-yard line. A 12-yard pickup for the Chargers. Their 13th first down of this ball game.
Wes Chandler has outstanding speed, and we mentioned before that Tampa Bay does not like for anyone to get behind them. So the defensive backs are going to lay off, and they rely on their linebackers to take away the shorter patterns. Neil Cozy was the closest guy underneath, and he simply just didn't get there. Chandler 5 receptions for 62 yards, and Joyner has 5 for 68.
Intended for the tight end, Eric Sievers. And it falls incomplete. Back on the coverage there, you see on number 59, the second-year man out of Texas A&I, Andy Hawkins. That stops the clock with 1:42 to play. Chargers already own a 14-7 lead, and they're drawing certainly within the range of Rolf Benerschke. San Diego has to win this game to realistically have any shot at all of making Pete Rozelle's postseason party.
But they're a team that's always played well under pressure.
James Brooks, he tries to go right up the middle. What a job he did. He broke out of the grasp of Andy Hawkins. Looked like he had a sure tackle on Brooks. It's just about back to the line of scrimmage.
And I mentioned before that Brooks is only 5'9", about 180 pounds at most. And look at this, number 59, Andy Hawkins, who's about 220, can't bring him down. He just doesn't give up.
Hugh Green, finally the man who dragged him down. It is 3rd and 10. Again, San Diego faced with a 3rd and long situation. 3 wide receivers. Bounce going for Chandler, and he has another San Diego first down. Norris Thomas and John Holt were there on the stop. That is the 7th catch for Wes Chandler. And there's a timeout that will stop the clock with 52 seconds to play. We'll be back. Gene, we've touched on it earlier in the first half, the importance of Tampa Bay winning this ball game. It is their last home game. They do very well here. Their final game, though, is in the Silverdome.
In the Lions' den. Lions
7-0. Here in Tampa, San Diego threatening. 52 seconds to play. 1st and 10 at the 15, and Dan will put it in the air. And he was looking for Charlie Joyner. He had Chandler crossing underneath. And he could not find him.
Well, I'm not quite sure he wanted in that situation because number 89, Wes Chandler, had pulled up deep on a little hook pattern. Then he had Charlie Joyner going into the corner. We're so high up, it's difficult to get perception, but I think he was trying to get the ball to Wes Chandler.
I want to apologize to our viewers in Kansas who were expecting to see this game from the outset. We had technical problems. However, you are aboard now, and we welcome you. 2nd and 10. Bounce. Got a man, Chandler, and he cannot hold on. Oh, that would have been a great catch.
I think that was a situation where Chandler felt that he was closer to that end zone line than he really was. I was guessing a little bit, but let's take a look on this replay. I think he could have stopped and put 2 hands on that ball. Oh, yeah, he could have done it. He didn't have to go up with 1 hand. He could have turned around. He had plenty of room to get 2 hands on that ball and still come down in bounds.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he was looking at that concrete wall.
I don't think it was a wall so much. I think that he felt he was close to the line and wouldn't have come down with both feet in.
So now it is 3rd and 10. And a flag goes down. Fouts will unload. It'll be against San Diego. Intercepted. What an interception by Richard Wood. And they're going to blow it down. They're going to blow it down in the end zone.
That's Cedric Brown, number 34. There's a flag down.
It's against Charlie Joyner. Again, he turned upfield.
Motion, 18 offense, penalty refused.
If we can see it again, you will see Charlie Joyner angling to the sideline. You cannot do that.
Not before the ball is snapped. Let's take a look at this Fouts pass. Joyner is trying to come across field. He has the man one-on-one, but Cedric Brown is in great position and does a super job on the interception. Let's take another look. You can see that Cedric Brown is actually in front of Charlie Joyner. There's a little bump there.
Oh, what a catch.
But both of those guys have the right to the football.
That's Cedric Brown's first interception this year. And the Bucs thwart a possible San Diego scoring drive. 35 seconds to play, first half. And Doug Williams going to try and go for something. Little screen pass. He has got
James Owens can fly.
And a flag is down. And a San Diego Charger is down. I believe it is Wyatt Henderson.
They may have gotten Jimmy Giles. The official threw it in the area where Jimmy Giles was, and it may be clipping.
And you're exactly right, Gene Washington. It is clipping. Will nullify the big pickup by Owens. An injury timeout down there while they look over Wyatt Henderson. I believe it is Mr. Henderson. Now that is Dan's 16th interception this year. All right, while they look over the injured Charger, they'll take a timeout also. We'll be back. The injured Charger is Wyatt Henderson. Boy, he really took a shot here.
Well, you're going to see the injury comes from number 26, James Owens. Watch this as he's being tackled. He puts his shoulder down, and his shoulder hits right on the ankle. Wyatt Henderson. Willie Buchanan, number 28, was clipped by number 88, Jimmy Giles.
I said earlier it was Cedric Brown's first interception. Meant to say it was his 7th interception, the first turnover in this ball game. 24 seconds to play. Give is right up the middle. It is Owens. Oh, can he motor? He has a first down out to the 37-yard line. 17 seconds to play. The preceding announcement was furnished as a public service by the National Football League.
That's an example of the great acceleration that I was talking about earlier that James Owens has. As I mentioned, he's a world-class hurdler, or he was a world-class hurdler while at UCLA. 38 yards he has today in 5 carries.
Now, we've talked all day long about how important this game is to both of these clubs. Denver plays Seattle today in Denver. And certainly Charger fans are hoping for a Seattle victory, because if San Diego wins today and Seattle knocks off the Denver Broncos, the Chargers would be in first place in the AFC West by virtue of all the tiebreakers. They would have identical one-loss records, but the tiebreakers come into play here, and San Diego would have first place locked up at least until the final week of the season. However, those are awfully big ifs. 17 seconds to play, first and 10. The Bucs have the ball, and this crowd comes alive. Williams will put it in the air. A little flat pass, good catch, James Wilder. And the clock continues to run. And the Bucs call a timeout to stop it with 10 seconds to play. That is Wilder's 42nd reception this year. He's their bread and butter man out of the backfield. They love to throw to their running backs, Gene. They have some great receivers.
Well, these guys are all very good. Let's take a look at the standings. Tampa Bay on top in the NFC Central, followed closely by Detroit at 8-7. We mentioned before, if Tampa must go to Detroit next week. Detroit is 7-0 at home, playing fantastic football. So Tampa, and John McKay said, we can't go into today's ball game talking about we have to win 1 out of 2. He says if we do that, we'll get blown out today. They want to win it today. They want to end things right here. That's what makes this such an important game for both teams. San Diego is do or die, and for Tampa, they can't afford to wait until next week.
Ten seconds to play here in the first half. Well, when you think how far this franchise has come in only 6 years of existence.
2 championships in the last 3 years if they win this one.
2nd and 4. 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Williams has got a man. It is Jimmy Giles, the big tight end. He's still on his feet.
Oh!
And time has expired. Wow, what a first half we have seen here. We have come to the end of the first half of play. on a sensational catch and run by Jimmy Giles.
And a well-played football game, particularly by the San Diego offense. And Tampa's defense has done a good job. They've allowed San Diego to hold the ball a little too long now.
So, San Diego leads after 30 minutes of play, 14-7.
I'd like to welcome those of you who have been watching the Colts and the Redskins and the Chargers and the Buccaneers back to our NFL 81 studios in New York. I'm Brian Gumbel. This is Sunday number 15, and as you know, all 5 playoff spots in the AFC are still up for grabs. I'll try to get you caught up on what has happened and what it means in terms of the playoff situation. First of all, the ball game going on at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. If the Bengals win, quite simply, they are champions of the AFC Central Division. Right now, they are leading 10-3 in pursuit of their first title since '73. It didn't start well for Forrest Gregg's troops. Opening kickoff, rookie David Verser is hitting fumbles, and rookie Dave Trout comes up with it. Pittsburgh Steelers managed to come back, though. They were out in front 3-0. Kenny Anderson coughed up the ball. Pittsburgh came up with it. I'm sorry, ball game's still scoreless right there. This is what set up the 3-0 lead. Frank Pollard going around the left side, a 20-yard gain. It set up a Dave Trout field goal of 48 yards. That made it 3-0. It was matched by a Jim Breach field goal. After it was 3-3 with just seconds left in the first half, Kenny Anderson hit Isaac Curtis, and so it stands at 10-3 in that ball game. With a win again, the Bengals wrap up the AFC Central. Green Bay against New Orleans. The Packers are keeping their slim playoff hopes alive in a big way. Playing in the Superdome, they are beating up on the Saints. It's 21-0. Lynn Dickey has thrown touchdown passes of 9, 24, and 25 yards to account for the scoring in that game. The Buffalo Bills, if they can win today while the Steelers lose, the Bills are a wild card team no matter what happens. They are leading the Patriots by a score of 17-7. That ball game is at the half. Joe Cribbs set up the first score of the ball game. Taking it off the right side, he went 25 yards down to the Patriots' 5-yard line. And from there, it was the veteran out of Texas who got the job done. Roosevelt Leaks going off the left side, circling around and getting in. 7-0 Buffalo. Ferguson to Cribbs. This completed an 87-yard drive. And watch this. Cribbs gives the okey-doke to Fox and goes in. 39-yard play. 14-0 Buffalo. The lone Patriots score was provided by Vegas Ferguson. He went off a big hole on the left side. 19 yards later, it was a 14-7 ball game, but Nick Mickemeier's field goal of 30 yards has that one standing right now at 17-7 at the intermission. The Giants continue to entertain very slim playoff hopes, as do the St. Louis Cardinals. They are matching wits in St. Louis, and right now the Giants are out in front 10-3 at the half. Their lone score coming on a 20-yard fumble return by George Martin. San Diego Chargers going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If the Buccaneers win any of their remaining 2 games, they are champions of the NFC Central. But right now, the San Diego continue to have their problems. They're a team that's allowing 34 points a game. They're a team that has lost 13 in a row. They're a team that's in the process of making it 14. And if you don't think McCormick's got problems, wow. Redskins jumped out in front early. 38-yard strike. Joe Theismann, Virgil Say. They make this look very easy against the Colts. Colts fans have had little to shout about. What has happened has come off the arm of Burt Jones. He aired this one out 43 yards to a leaping Roger Carr. They had set up the lone score of the ball game for the Colts. Jones the butler covering the last 10 yards. That deadlocked it at 7. But after that, it was left to John Riggins and Joe Theismann and the Baltimore defenders to make a mockery of the scoreboard. John Riggins going around left end, 8 yards, dragging a tackler, touchdown, 14-7. And then Joe Theismann, showing that the Colts are equally weak against the pass as against the run, going to Art Monk down to the 14-yard line. And then John Riggins one more time. Look at this. They make Riggins look like Jim Brown. Up the middle, 14 yards, knocking over blue shirts in his way, made it 21-7. And before the half ended, Joe Theismann managed to take it in from 8 yards out to make it Washington 28, the Colts 7. That's how it stands right now at the half. And in the ball game going on at Arrowhead.
Bill Stone and Gene Washington from Tampa Stadium, and we are underway in the second half. Bob Banerska to the up man. It is Wilder at the 12-yard line. Still on his feet outside the 20. And a nice return for James Wilder. As we reset the Tampa Bay offense for you here in the start of the second half, Doug Williams will quarterback. Wilder and Bell will be the running backs, the receivers. Another Bell, this time Theo, Kevin House, and Jimmy Giles. The offensive line, Sanders, the messenger guards, Snell and Yarno, Wilson, Roberts, and Hanna. Williams 8 of 14 in the first half for 148 yards and 1 touchdown. That's the only score the Bucs have thus far today. 58-yarder to Theo Bell. The 29-yard line, the second man through is Owens. And he is outside the 33, possibly the 34-yard line. Pickup of almost 5 yards. Glenn Edwards and Woody Lowe combined on the stop.
Let's take a look at this blocking. I mentioned before that Tampa's offensive line has done a great job. Look at that block by number 61, Greg Roberts, the Outland Trophy winner. He clears away for number 26, James Owens. Uses that speed to get outside.
Gary Eckwood is back in the game for the Buccaneers on 2nd and 5. It is Owens again, trying to get out near the 37-yard line. Gary Johnson, big hands, brings him down. Take a look at this Charger defensive unit. Jones, Kelcher, Johnson, and Woodcock. Linebackers, King, Horn, and Lowe. And the backs, Willie Buchanan, Alan Ellis, Pete Shaw, and Glenn Edwards. Glenn Edwards played his high school ball right across the bay in St. Petersburg. Gibbs High School. He comes back here periodically. Tampa Bay on 3rd and 1. There are 2 of 6 in the 3rd down department. Williams will put it in the air. Going for Giles, and he's got Giles. Pardon me, it is House.
Kevin House.
It is Kevin House. A 21-yard pickup, and that is House's first reception today.
That was a beautifully thrown pass. Doug Williams gets back, no hesitation at all. Kevin House just runs a simple turn-in pattern, gets downfield about 12 yards, turns inside of number 57, Lyndon King. Kevin House is a guy who possesses an awful lot of speed. He's a very dangerous receiver.
1st and 10, Buccaneers. Here comes Owens. And he takes Woody Lowe on head-on. Runs for about 4 yards. Jim Laslovic checks into the ball game, replacing Bob Horn at middle linebacker. Owens will come out. Wilder has come in. Look at a good shot, a good close-up shot of Doug Williams talking to his ball players. Man, it looks like he's talking to Theo Bell.
Other than Jim Zorn, Williams is the only active quarterback to go over 10,000 yards in his first 4 seasons.
I'll tell you, he throws some ropes. Right there's one of them. Whoa. Man he was looking for is Gerald Carter. Now Bartkowski last week, after the Bucs beat the Atlanta Falcons, called Doug Williams the best passer in the National Football League, and that is saying something.
Well, that's saying an awful lot. There's no question that Doug Williams has a great arm. When he first came into the league, people were saying that he had a cannon arm and so forth, but that's one of the most overrated qualities a quarterback can have, is a rocket arm.
I agree with you.
Have you ever tried to catch a bullet or a martyr?
No, I don't even want to. 3rd down and 6 from the shotgun. Right over the middle. Talk about ropes. Jimmy Giles has it, and he's whistled down at the 35-yard line, and it is just enough for a Tampa Bay first down. Glenn Edwards and Pete Shaw combine on the stop. Take a look at this big tight end, 6'3", 245.
He is big, but he can catch the football with the best of them. That ball is delivered right on the numbers, right by the waist. Difficult to miss that one. Tampa has come out in the second half. They've opened things up a little more. I think they've decided, well, enough of just being conservative. Let's go to what we do best, and that's putting the ball in the air. And they have some excellent receivers, particularly number 88, Jimmy Giles.
1st and 10 Bucs at the San Diego 35. Little play action. Oh, crossing pattern to House. Little slant end did not work.
Well, these two guys, Doug Williams, Kevin House, have teamed up for 6 passes that are over 50 yards. There's a guy who'd like to have a happy Christmas. There's Santa, hoping he can pull off one today.
What's he doing here? He's supposed to be working. It is 2nd and 10. The ball still spotted at the 35. The Bucs now out of the I formation. It is James Owen and James Wilder. 2nd and 10. Second man. And that is Owen. Gary Johnson, big hands. Brings him down. I remember James Owens back 3 years ago, offensive player of the game in the Fiesta Bowl. And speaking of the Fiesta Bowl, what a Fiesta Bowl this year on NBC.
USC Trojans and Penn State. That's going to be some football game. Mr. Marcus Allen, Heisman Trophy winner.
It is now 3rd and 6. From the shotgun. For Giles. And he overthrows him. I can't decide whether it was for Giles or House. He kind of dropped it in between both of them. Giles had run an underneath pattern, Gene, and still uncertain as to who Williams was looking for.
Well, I think there was a little confusion between the quarterback and the tight end. You can see that Giles, he wants to go right, then he decides to go left. But you can't fake your quarterback out like that. If you move in one direction, you have to keep going that way. He started that way. Williams says he's going. Now he's going to start to release the ball. Giles goes the other way.
So here's Bill Capice on. He has 6 straight field goals coming into this game. This one will be from 49 yards away. He has twice hit from 51 yards. This has the distance. Out of Florida State can kick. His 13th field goal in 22 attempts. He has now booted 7 in a row. So the Buccaneers have now drawn within 4. It is San Diego 14, Tampa 10 with 10:17 to play in the 3rd period. And we are underway as Bill Capice. Oh, he sends a shot to James Brooks a yard deep, and he's going to bring it out. What a return for Mr. James Brooks. Averaging 24 yards a return. This one came out 28 yards. Dana Nafziger brought him down. As you take a look at James Brooks. I want to say happy birthday to a real Charger fan who's watching today's game in Los Angeles. Happy 50th birthday to Ross Johnson. Trust you're enjoying the game, Ross. 1st and 10, San Diego, the ball at the 28. Play action bounce for Joyner. And he is hit immediately there by Norris Thomas. Joyner now has 488 catches, ties him for 11th place on the all-time list with Don Hudson. Charlie's 6th catch of the day. This one good for 14 yards and another San Diego first down. It's like every time Charlie catches a football, Gene, he just keeps breaking records and records.
But San Diego coming out the start of the 2nd half, doing exactly what they did when the half ended, throwing those passes in between the linebackers and on time. No hesitation on the part of House.
About 20 of 30 for 217 yards. This is James Brooks. He's out to about the 45-yard line. Cecil Johnson, Richard Wood, Dave Logan, all 3 combined on the stop. There's no question the San Diego running game suffers when Chuck Muncie is not in the ball game.
Chuck Muncie is such an outstanding athlete. He's big. Chuck Muncie is about 6'3", about 215. He has great acceleration. He can take a play that would ordinarily be a loss and turn it into a big gain. And whenever you have someone out of your lineup like Chuck Muncie, it's going to hurt you some.
2nd and 9. Bounce again, a 3-step drop, a little screen pass to James Brooks. And he keeps breaking tackles. Look at the kid go. I'll tell you, he's got Andy Hawkins talking to himself. That's the 2nd time he's broken out of a grasp of a guy who weighs 40 pounds more than he does and stands 4 inches taller than he does.
Well, you talk about some tough guys. The interior of that line for the Chargers, they're doing a heck of a job. Look at number 62, the center, Don Mason. He takes on a nose tackle, then he pulls out and gets another block over on number 20, Neil Colsey. The Chargers have held the ball. They had a 90-yard drive in the first half. Whenever you're holding the football like that, your offensive line is doing a great job.
3rd and 3, Fouts with time. Delivers to Wes Chandler, and it is over his head. As you take a look at the guy we were speaking of, Chuck Muncie went out of this ball game in the first period, re-injuring that very, very tender groin. He's only rushed the ball 3 times, but gained 17 yards in those 3 trips through the line. Oh, a punting situation now for the San Diego Chargers as you take a look at some of the color here in Tampa Bay. Roberts, 3 punts, averaging almost 47 yards a kick today. He's going to try and angle this one out of bounds. Oh, look at this one.
Oh, he may have batted it into the end zone.
He did. Bob Greger batted it into the end zone. The ball would have rolled dead at the 3. A 49-yard punt. And boy, don't you know Greger's upset at himself. That ball was dead at the 3.
It was bouncing back, and he tried to bat it out of bounds, but he didn't get it there as it goes into the end zone. Now it comes out to the 20.
You get a look at Don Coryell, rather frantic on the far sideline. Gene, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers now only trail San Diego by 4. I think this is a real critical series here for the Bucs.
Well, whenever you come out in the second half, it's a very critical situation for both offenses in that they need to establish some momentum. San Diego did so well in controlling the football in the first half. Now Tampa Bay needs to do that to give their defense some rest.
You can't leave a team on the field all day. You're exactly right. 1st and 10. A little release to the near side. And that is Owens. And he's out across the 25-yard line. Look at John McKay on the near side. Here's a guy who came under a lot of heat the first couple of years here in Tampa. Boy, what a job he has done the last few years.
He certainly has, and as we mentioned before, if they were to win this football game or win next week, that would be 2 titles in the last 3 years, and that's not bad for a franchise that only started 6 years ago.
Doug Williams, his running backs, Owens and Wilders, they'll go out of the eye. Wide receivers, Bell and House. And Williams wants to put it up on 2nd and 4. He has got a man. Ooh! He is hit right away. That is Jimmy Giles, his tight end. Or correction, Theo Bell. We've got to tell you, we are so high on this press box that it is very, very difficult to see the numbers from where we sit. It really is.
That's because we have to wipe the blood from our nose. We're so high up here that nosebleed.
There you see the shot that we're looking down on, so you have some appreciation. There's the press box. And we are a long, long way from the playing field. Doug Williams now 12 of 21 for 187 yards. 1st and 10, Bucs. Owens out near the 40-yard line. Wilbur Young was there. John Woodcock. 6 minutes, 7 seconds to play in the 3rd period.
Look at this score. Green Bay 28-7 over New Orleans in the 3rd quarter.
You know how they've scored them all? Len Dickey touchdown passes to Jerry Ellis, John Jefferson, James Lofton, and his tight end Paul Kaufman. I'll tell you, Green Bay wins, and they throw themselves into the hunt for the NFC Central. We'll take a look at those standings a little later on, but this is a real dogfight. 2nd and 6. Uh-oh. Quick flat pass. Theo Bell.
The fans love it here in Tampa Bay. That's the same play that went for a touchdown in the first half. Theo Bell catching that pass out there. That's a little hitch pass. He's going to go for 29 yards. In the first half, he went for over 50 on a touchdown. Again, they pick on number 48, Allen Ellis. He's trying to be a little more sure on this tackle, but he still doesn't come up with it.
Allen Ellis, the same man that Theo Bell beat in the first quarter for the tying touchdown. 1st and 10, Buccaneers with the ball at the San Diego 32. They're going for Theo, and this one goes out of bounds. Good coverage that time by Ellis. Glenn Edwards.
Doug Williams forced this one. Ellis is up there playing in a bump and run situation, but he knows he has help deep from number 27, Glenn Edwards, who will probably come into your screen. There he is. Almost comes up with an interception.
Now Doug Williams, 13 of 22 for 216 yards and a touchdown. crowd comes to life. 2nd and 10. Play action.
Fumble!
Williams fumbled the football. Louis Kelcher was there. John Woodcock was there, and I think Williams fell on the ball. He did. That is the 3rd quarterback sack for the San Diego Chargers. Oh, while they set things up, we'll go to New York. Studio 6A and Byron Day.
Thanks a lot, Phil. In the nation's capital, the Redskins are having no trouble whatsoever with the Baltimore Colts. Theismann up top, 13 yards to Art Monk. His 2nd touchdown of the day. It's now 35-7, Skins over the Colts.
Here in Tampa, it is San Diego 14, the Buccaneers 10. Uh-oh, we've got a reverse. He's going to throw it.
Throw it to the quarterback.
It is almost picked off by Allen Ellis. You gotta love some of the razzle-dazzle we have seen here today. Look, that to be a reverse.
Takes the snap from the shotgun formation, hands the ball off the house. Now he's going to go out for the pass. This is the way Bill Cosby threw him up in the streets of Philadelphia. Take the A Street bus, get off at the blue car, and I'll throw it to you.
Larry Swider will kick it away. And again, he's angling it for the sideline and will not find it. This time it goes into the end zone, a 44-yard punt. The Chargers will take the ball at their own 20-yard line. 4 minutes, 35 seconds to play in the 3rd period. San Diego continues to lead by 4. Now, there's certainly a guy who looks like he's enjoying himself a great deal. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is Channel 4, KNBC, Los Angeles.
Bill Stone and Gene Washington. We have a good one. 14-10, San Diego leading Tampa Bay. 2 tight ends for San Diego that give right up the middle. James Brooks. He's got a couple. Dave Stalls is there to drag him down. The 5th-year man out of Northern Colorado. I want to tell you again, Chuck Muncie started today's game despite that groin injury. He re-injured it in the 1st period after gaining 17 yards on 3 carries. And since then, he has been a spectator on the sideline. Brooks now 9 carries for 19 yards. There goes Kellen Winslow in motion to the top. Bounce on 2nd and 7 to Brooks. And again, he runs around people. Richard Wood thought he had a shot up. Cecil Johnson finally dragged him down after he picked up 2 more. He's out near the 1st down. He'll be about a yard shy.
Again, San Diego is continuing to be patient. They're taking what Tampa Bay gives them. Tampa Bay gets those defensive linebackers back in deep drops. Bounces swinging that ball out wide, particularly out to James Brooks. And as you said, he's a guy that's not very big, but what courage he has, and he is breaking so many tackles today. The first guy has not brought him down all day long.
He's only 5'18", but he thinks he's 6'4". 3rd down and a yard. Little pass outside. It is Winslow. And he only had to go about 6 inches for the 1st down. He got about 15 yards. And that is San Diego's 17th 1st down. Tampa has just 10. 3 minutes, 7 seconds to play in the 3rd period. Look at this one. Cincinnati has taken the lead over Pittsburgh by a touchdown. Green Bay hammering the Saints 28-7. Lynn Dickey with 4 touchdown passes. Buffalo over New England 19-7. Boy, what a ball game it's going to be next Saturday in the Orange Bowl. The Giants, St. Louis, 10-3 Giants in the 3rd period. 1st and 10, San Diego moving. Joyner, and he cannot hold on. Norris Thomas was right there to hit Charlie. Joyner a little bit slow getting up.
I think this is the first situation where Dan Fouts has not been right on target. 3-step drop, get rid of the football right away into the seam. Thrown just a fraction too far. Otherwise, it would have been a completion.
Definitely a catchable ball, though. Take a look at a couple of other scores. Whoa. Washington over Mike McCormick's Baltimore Colts. Miami over Kansas City 10-7 at Arrowhead. Fouts 21 of 33, 234 yards. 2nd and 10, draw play. Brooks. Oh, what a move. first down for San Diego. What a move. Again, Andy Hawkins has to be talking to himself today, Gene.
James Brooks gets all of this on his own. As you watch, he's going to take this draw play. There's nothing in the middle. He bounces outside. Now watch that move. A little fake inside. Acceleration out to the outside for the first down. James Brooks.
He has put enough moves on Andy Hawkins today for a career for Mr. Hawkins.
That was his 10th carry, 33 yards.
Winslow comes wide right. Wes Chandler is in the slot. Fake reverse against Brooks. He fumbles it.
Football.
I believe Cedric Brown has it.
Well, the fans love it. What a turn of events. James Brooks about to go in for a big gainer. Coughs it up. Number 34, Cedric Brown, comes up with the recovery.
Now there you take a look, Gene, at a very, very disappointed Dan Fouts. It's the second time the Chargers were in position to take it in and coughed it up.
Well, James Brooks, you can see he's trying to bounce to the outside, and there comes the hand. The Tampa Bay defender was sliding out, stuck his hand out there, knocked it away. Tampa Bay has dodged 2 bullets. They have dodged 2. The Chargers were going in for scores. They've come up with the big turnovers. There's 53, Hugh Green, and you can see he got his hand in there just enough to knock that ball away from James Brooks.
That's the 5th time this year Hugh Green has stuck his hand in to cause a fumble for San Diego. Their 20th fumble of the year, 3rd worst in the NFL. A little flare pass to the near side. It is Owens. And he gets around Allen Ellis, and they're just running circles around Allen Ellis. Willie Buchanan finally brings him down. 12-yard pickup, a first down for Tampa Bay. 2 minutes, 19 seconds to play in the 3rd period.
Well, he takes it out here in the flat, and watch this fake. I don't envy Allen Ellis at all. Look at that move. Oh, gives him a little to the outside, comes back inside. Ellis knows he has some help. Let's take another look. That's a nice move, but Ellis should make that tackle. I think the problem is that Ellis is sitting back on his heels instead of going forward. He's waiting for the man to deliver the fake, and then he's caught flat-footed.
1st and 10 at the midfield stripe. The first man through. That is James Wilder, and he gets about 3. John Woodcock, number 90, the right defensive end, brings him down. A gain of 3 yards on the play. Oh, look at this one. The Bengals are smelling a division title. Cincinnati over the Pittsburgh Steelers, 17-3 in the 3rd period. Ken Anderson, 2 touchdown passes to Isaac Curtis and Steve Kreider.
Isaac Curtis, a man you haven't heard from very much lately.
Not very much at all. 2nd and 7, ball at the 47. 1:20 to play in the 3rd period. Right over the middle to Giles. He has a first down, Tampa. Lyndon King was there on the stop.
What a heads-up play by number 88, Jimmy Giles. He catches the football, and he realizes that he's close to the first down, and he just takes the ball and sticks it back as far as he can. There is a little danger, though. Maybe there's been someone back there to knock it away.
Knock it out. Another first down for Tampa. Following the fumble by James Brooks, the Buccaneers are on the move. Owens, Wilder's the running back. They come out of the eye. Owens. Fumble. A couple fumbles. San Diego has it. Woody Lowe recovered it. Shuffled it back to Glenn Edwards. San Diego has the football. The first turnover for the Buccaneers today. I remember a game earlier this year where James Brooks tried to lateral a kickoff just after being hit against the Seattle Seahawks, and it backfired. And I'm a little skeptical about what Mr. Coryell might be telling Woody Lowe right now. When you recover that ball, do not give it to anybody. Timeout, 31 seconds to play in the 3rd period.
Bay in New York. In Pittsburgh, the Bengals are looking to clinch the AFC Central title, and they've just moved ahead here on a 22-yard touchdown for Ash Anderson to Steve Kreider. Bengals lead at 17-3 in the third. Phil?
So after an exchange of turnovers, the Chargers have the ball, and this is how they got it back.
Woodrow Lowe comes up with this fumble, but he does something that's very dangerous. He gets the football and watch. He laterals the ball to Glenn Edwards. Once you get your hands on it, don't turn it loose. Don't take a chance.
First and 10, play action, bounce. Oh, what a reception by Dwight Scales. That's his first reception of the day. Mr. Scales was Doug Williams' teammate at Grambling.
Little play action, Fouts fakes the draw, going to the same part of the field that they've been so successful over on their right, over against number 41, Norris Thomas. Going downfield about 12 yards, running a little turn-in pattern. Fouts throwing the ball on time. Very good pass play, very successful all game long.
So we are at the end of the third quarter. The score, San Diego 14, the Bucs 10. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station. A good look at beautiful downtown Tampa. It is a ghost town today. Everybody's here.
And they have a lot to root about. Their team is playing good football today. They're right in the thick of things. See what the Chargers do after this turnover, or after that turnover.
Bounce on first and 10. Plenty of time. Got a man in the seam. And I believe it is Wes Chandler. It is Wes Chandler. A big, big gain. Pickup of 17. A first down for San Diego. Norris Thomas hit him immediately. An update in St. Louis where the Giants lead the Cardinals 17-3. That game now in the third quarter. And there's the man who cut that pass. Fouts closing in on 300 yards. He now has 268. Kellen Winslow in motion. The give is to John Cappelletti. Oh! And look at the former Penn State running back inside the Buccaneers' 15-yard line. Another first down for San Diego. Now they're ripping off big, big chunks, Gene.
There's a huge hole on the right side of the offense. Again, let's give credit to the offensive line of the San Diego Chargers. They've done an outstanding job all day long in protecting the quarterback, opening big holes for the runners. Ed White, Russ Washington, Doug Wilkerson, and number 66, Billy Shields. Super job all day long.
At the 20th first down for the Chargers. Kellen motion and Kellen Winslow in motion to the bottom of your screen. Bounce. Or Chandler. And he's got the ball at the 4-yard line of Tampa. Don't you know the fans in Detroit are awfully excited about what they're seeing here.
But the players in Detroit are more excited than that, having played yesterday. They can't wait to get Tampa up in Detroit. There's Wes Chandler, number 89, who came up that reception. One of the Tampa defenders is down. I think that's Mike Washington, who's had some injuries all season long.
You're right, Gene. It is Mike Washington. And while the Tampa Bay medical staff looks at him, we'll take a timeout. He's had great success against these Tampa Bay Buccaneers all day long. He is 26 of 38 for 297 yards, Gene. And you have to wonder when or if the Bucs are going to adjust.
Well, I don't think they're going to change their philosophy very much. They've held San Diego to fewer points than most clubs have. And I think they're going to stick with what they do best.
It is second down and 1. The ball at the 4-yard line. Brooks in motion. Little misdirection to John Cappelletti. He has the first down. He definitely has the first down as he scooted into the end zone. The officials say his knees went down at the 2-yard line. Neil Colsey was there to make sure he would not get into the end zone. Cappelletti already has 1 touchdown today. He has 4 on the year. He was trying there for number 5. San Diego now with 21 first downs. 12 minutes, 44 seconds to play in this ball game as the sun breaks through for the first time today. First and goal, Chargers. They already lead 14-10, trying to add more to that. Cappelletti. Ooh. He gets to the 1, and then he is really slammed shut. Hugh Green, Norris Thomas. I don't think I'd want to run at Hugh Green any time in my career.
He's a tough guy, but I'll tell you, John Capoletti delivers a load himself. He's not an easy man to bring down.
Second down and goal at the 1. What do you think, Gene? Quarterback sneak for Fauci does not run a lot.
I think I'd have to give it to Mr. Capoletti again.
James Brooks is in. Touchdown, San Diego. And you want to hear an interesting stat? It is only James Brooks' second touchdown this year. Look at this guy.
Well, that's a nice way to come back after having turned that ball over on that fumble. James Brooks has run so well today. It's only fitting that he scored the touchdown. There's John McKay. He's not very happy about things right now, but Brooks gets that ball, sees the end zone, and goes up high and gets just enough for the touchdown.
Now he was running at Leroy Selman, Dave Logan. It is 20-10. San Diego. Rolf Panerska will try and add one more to that. Luther puts it down. Perfect. So the San Diego Chargers, with the first score here in the second half, comes at the 11:52 mark of the fourth period. It is now San Diego 21, Tampa Bay 10. You take a look at the San Diego scoring drive after the fumble recovery by Woody Lowe. 7 plays, 67 yards. Took him 3 minutes, 39 seconds. And Panerska kicks this one deep. 4 yards deep. It is fumbled in the end zone. And James Owens will sit down. And the Bucs will start from their own 20-yard line. With 11 minutes, 46 seconds to play, San Diego is on top now by 11. And again, we cannot stress enough what this does to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' chances for the NFC Central Division title, because if they lose today, that forces them to win next week at the Silverdome, where no team has won other than the Detroit Lions. First and 10 from the 20. Williams, short drop. Quick flare pass. It is Kevin House. Allen Ellis is there to wrap him up. Glenn Edwards is there to chase him out of bounds.
Tampa Bay going to the play that had worked so well prior, except this time San Diego brings a little help over for Allen Ellis. Number 44, Pete Shaw, was right there. They pinched him between the two, making sure that he wasn't going to break the tackle.
Now there's an interesting statistic. Kevin House, 2 catches for 28 yards. He had 52 catches coming in for over 1,000 yards. So San Diego was, in essence, taking him away from the Tampa Bay offense. Williams, 16 of 26, 247 yards and a touchdown. First and 10. Another quick release. This time it is Wilder. Another first down as San Diego is starting to play, Gene, way off the line.
James Wilder, number 32, mentioned in the first half. Not only is he a good runner, but he's an outstanding receiver coming out of the backfield. He gets out into that open area. It's very dangerous, picking up 17 yards in this situation. It's a very critical drive, in my opinion, for Tampa Bay, because they cannot afford to let the Chargers get the football back again and go for a long drive, because they're just going to run out of time.
Chargers have called a timeout with 10 minutes, 54 seconds to play on this ball game. Defense apparently wanting to talk things over. Lyndon King is out talking to Woody Lowe about something. The guys just really want to rest.
Well, I think it's just what I was referring to. I think that the Chargers realize that this is a very crucial situation for their defense. They're ahead by 11 points. They've moved the ball against Tampa Bay very well because of the theory that Tampa Bay has on defense, and that's to allow the team to play in front but nothing big. If Tampa Bay goes down and scores at this point, they're going to be in great shape. But if the Chargers can hold them here, their offense gets the football back, Tampa Bay is in a lot of trouble. So they're going to talk it over. They're going to let their defense rest. They want to try to stop the Buccaneers right here.
Don't forget, next week, NBC Sports has another special Saturday edition of NFL football. Host Bryant Gumbel will have all the news from around the league on NFL 81 starting at 3:30 Eastern Time. Then it's a game that could decide the AFC East title as Buffalo takes on Miami in the Orange Bowl. That's a special edition of NFL football next Saturday on NBC Sports. And the last we heard, both Buffalo and the Miami Dolphins were winning today. Listen to this crowd begin to chant here at Tampa Stadium. Play action. Tries to underthrow the coverage and does it beautifully. Jerry Eckwood got it right in front of Lyndon King. We talked about the Buffalo score, and there it is in the fourth quarter now. The Bills over the New England Patriots at Foxborough, 19-10. Second down, call it 6. The ball at the San Diego 48. Clock is running. 10 minutes and 17 seconds to play in this ball game. Williams, right over the middle. It is Jimmy Giles. And again, he hauls it in right in front of the San Diego defensive backs. That time, Glenn Edwards there on the stop. Miami continues to lead Kansas City 10-7 at halftime. A first down for the Buccaneers. Interestingly enough, the Bucs have not practiced in pads in 4 weeks. And since the last time they put them on, I believe they've won 3 games.
They've won 3 games. I think they had a loss to Denver, I believe it was. Since that time, they were bumped up a little bit. We'll talk about that a little more because it's a nice psychological lift for the team.
First and 10. Play action. Williams wants to put it up. He's going for it.
Oh!
Kevin House to the 8-yard line.
That's an incredible pass. Doug Williams throws the ball perfectly with 34 yards down here. And this is a great catch for number 89, Kevin House. He takes a shot from Pete Shaw, but he doesn't go down. 34-yard pickup. Watch this. Look at that. Theo Bell coming over to congratulate his teammate. Theo Bell, by the way, was running all by himself on the left side of the field. He was wide open because Allen Ellis had fallen down.
First and goal. Touchdown, James Wilder.
James Wilder walks in. This is a USC student body right. Everybody's out in front blocking. There's number 88, Jimmy Giles. He simply goes into the end zone untouched.
Bill Capizzi tries for the point after, and it is no good. Wide left. So with 8 minutes, 33 seconds to play in this ball game, the Chargers now in possession of a 21-16 lead. We'll be back with more from Tampa. There you see the time remaining in this ball game. The Buccaneers have just gone 80 yards in 6 plays. The big one, the 34-yarder from Williams to Kevin House. That puts Doug Williams over the 300-yard mark today. 308 yards. Fouts has 297. James Brooks at the 5. And he is tripped up out at the 24-yard line. Dana Nafziger was there.
Well, the fans here at Tampa Bay are trying to get their defense pumped up because they know that Fouts and company have the ability to take that ball and go right down the field. And if Tampa wants to win this football game, their defense is going to have to come to life right now.
Number 32, there you get a look at him. James Wilder, the man who made this a 21-16 ball game. As the crowd comes alive, Fouts. It is batted down by Hugh Breen. And listen to this crowd holler, Hugh. Gene, we're going to isolate on Hugh Green these next couple of plays. He is just one whale of a football player. Look at these statistics. He's a rookie.
Well, in that situation, he moved from his outside linebacking spot up to the line of scrimmage and came on a blitz, unopposed, no back to pick him up.
2nd and 10. Dan Fouts tries to float it out. Intercepted. David Lewis has given Tampa Bay the football.
Dan Fouts lost his ball out into the flat. Number 57, Dave Lewis from USC, a man who's quite frankly been in the doghouse here at Tampa Bay, comes up with a key turnover, big interception.
Now, David Lewis was a Pro Bowler last year, but as you mentioned, disciplinary problems this year with Lewis. McKay has set him down. He's only started one game. Pitch this side. It is Wilder. Touchdown. Great one here at Tampa Stadium. James Wilder has just gone 23 yards around the right side to give the Bucs a 22-21 lead. The Bucs with 2 touchdowns in less than a minute. Bill Capice makes it a 23-21 game. Wow, what a turnaround.
John McKay brings his student body right from USC all the way to Tampa Bay. You can see all the blockers out in front. It's number 73, Charlie Hanna, lays a big one, and Wilder dances into the end zone.
Boy, what a different complexion this ball game has now. 8:06 to play. We'll be back. Just 28 seconds ago, San Diego owned a 21-10 lead. Since then, the Buccaneers have put 2 touchdowns on the board in the span of 27 seconds. Listen to this crowd. Hank Bauer at the 12. Dives out across the 25. They'll spot it down at the 26-yard line. A 14-yard return. 7 minutes, 58 seconds to play. The Bucs with a 23-21 lead.
But the missed extra point by Bill Capice enters. It's very significant right now because the Chargers can go downfield, resume the lead with the field goal. Very important missed extra point.
Well, a bit of deja vu. Just a week ago, San Diego in the exact same situation, needing a field goal to go ahead and possibly win. Fouts, little misdirection to James Brooks. There's the Statue of Liberty play, and Brooks is out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Long way to run for a 4-yard pickup. Mike Washington on the stop. They call him Bones around here.
Bones because he has so many injuries. That's what Coach John McKay dubbed him. He said he's always getting injured. We call you Bones. But I tell you, he's a heck of a football player. He's done an outstanding job for Tampa Bay. Very consistent player.
What a turnaround we have had. Dwight Scales comes wide left. It is Wes Chandler wide right. Kellen Winslow in motion. Fouts, short drop. He's going to run it. Woo. Normally Dan goes down, kind of slides down. Dave Logan there on the stop with Richard Wood. Pickup of a couple. Still far short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 4. The ball at the 33-yard line. A big third down play for San Diego. You don't want to give these explosive Buccaneers the football again, Gene.
Fouts is looking for number 80, Kellen Winslow, but he was covered and covered very well by Hugh Green.
3rd and 3, San Diego. Fouts to Winslow. And it's enough for the first down. And Hugh Green jumps up. He caught it right in front of Hugh Green and Norris Thomas. Interesting statistic. Not a penalty thus far in the 3rd period or the 4th quarter.
There's number 53, Hugh Green. Does an outstanding job of the coverage, but it's very tough to take this guy, Kellen Winslow, one-on-one. Trails him a little bit. Fouts delivers a perfectly thrown football, just enough for the first down.
Now that completion put Dan Fouts over the 300-yard mark also. Williams got there on Tampa Bay's last possession. Capelletti loses the ball, and Tampa has recovered. Again, Gene, it is Dave Lewis who recovered.
What a way to redeem yourself. There's Hugh Green, number 53. He forces the action back the other way. He's right there. Capelletti has no place to go. Tries to go back inside. There's number 63, Leroy Selman, right in the middle of the action.
Well, he caused that fumble. Tampa Bay has the ball again. And they're going to try student body right again. It is Jerry Eckwood. Now this time the Chargers finally found a way to shut it down. Clock continuing to run. 6 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in this ball game.
Vicksburg has come back in the 4th quarter against Cincinnati. They trailed 10-17. Mark Malone to Franco Harris for the touchdown.
2nd and 9, Tampa Bay. If Tampa Bay wins, they are the champions of the NFC Central Division. If San Diego loses, you can just about pound the coffin shut. Right over the middle. Oh, fumble.
Interception!
And I believe San Diego has the ball. And they do. It is Woody Lowe who has come up with a turnover for the 2nd time today to match David Lewis. Oh, what a crazy, crazy 4th quarter we have had.
This game has seesawed back and forth. Williams gets the ball to Giles. He catches the ball trying to turn around, but before he can pull it in, he gets nailed and coughs it up.
He almost wanted to lateral that ball again. So, Tampa certainly on the move there. It's their 2nd turnover of the game. 1st and 10, the Chargers with a reprieve. Almost intercepted. Mike Washington was there. Dwight Scales apparently was heading on downfield. Dan was looking for a short little release.
You're exactly right. There was some confusion between Fouts and Scales. Fouts was expecting a little hook pattern, and Fouts delivers the football. You'll see Scales' back is turned. He's headed downfield. Mike Washington was in his pre-rotated zone defense coming up to take that short zone area. Almost came up with an interception.
You know, we talked about the defenses for Tampa Bay. Interestingly enough, they do not play a man-to-man defense.
Very rarely.
2nd and 10. Winslow. And he dives out near the first down. He's close to it. John Holt was there to bring him down with help from Scott Brantley. And Kellen is limping on a gimpy left ankle. Fouts well over 300 yards. He is now tied with Sonny Jurgensen for most all-time 300-yard games, 25. Johnny Unitas has the record with 26 300-yard performances. 5 minutes, 21 seconds to play. The clock is stopped while they measure. First down, Chargers.
Well, a little strategy comes into play here. If you're Tampa Bay on defense, do you continue to go with what you've done up to this point? You continue to play zone defense, drop back, or do you try to put some pressure on the quarterback now and try to make Fouts get rid of the ball in a hurry? If you don't put pressure on him, Fouts can take that ball right downfield. All they need is a field goal to go ahead.
Listen to this crowd. First and 10, James Brooks out across the 41 near the 42. Hugh Green is right there. Dave Logan is there.
One of the Buccaneers, it's
Leroy Selman. 5 minutes, 5 seconds to play in this game. Tampa Bay, in the span of 27 seconds here in the fourth period, scored 2 touchdowns to come from a 21-10 deficit to a 23-21 lead.
They're helping Leroy Selman off the field. He's been bothered all year long with nagging injuries in his 6th year out of Oklahoma. He's done a super job here at Tampa Bay, but anytime you're down lineman in a 3-4, you're going to take some punishment.
Second down and 7. This is a big play for the Chargers. 3 wide receivers. Fouts. Gales dropped the football. He went up high. He had it and simply dropped it. Boy, did he sky for that one.
He went up high. Dan had to get the ball away in a hurry. You saw the pressure throwing over the linebackers. The ball's a little high. Scales goes up, hits him right in the breadbasket. As you said, it should have been caught.
Now it's 3rd and 7. That was a big, big play. 4 minutes, 44 seconds left in this game. Right over the middle for Joyner. He has got the first down. And he is hit right away there by Cedric Brown. Charlie's a little slow getting up. The clock continues to run. Boy, San Diego, as I said a few moments ago, Gene, a bit of deja vu. This was the exact situation they were in a week ago against the Buffalo Bills in San Diego. They were driving in the closing minutes, certainly within range of Rolf Benerschke, and Chuck Muncie lost the handle. Joyner, 7 catches for 98 yards today. Fouts. Right over the middle, it is Winslow. And again, he catches the ball right in front of Cecil Johnson, who turns right around and makes the stop.
The clock continues to run. There's Benerschke on the sideline, waiting to get his chance. He may not have to come on if Tampa continues to play this type of defense. San Diego may go right into the end zone for a touchdown.
Leroy Selman has gone back into the game, and that's why the crowd is reacting to it.
I don't mean to imply that Tampa's playing poorly on defense. It's just that their theory is that they'll let you catch the ball in front of them. This may not be the time for that.
Oh. John Capoletti on 2nd and 2 gets about to the line of scrimmage before he's met by Hugh Green and Richard Wood. So again, San Diego with a 3rd down situation. 9 of 14 in the 3rd down department today. They have certainly converted their share. Coming into today's game, they were successful 49% of the time in 3rd down situations. Chargers averaging almost 31 points a game. They're 10 points shy of that thus far today out of the I formation. Cappy. He'll be short. He will be short.
It's close.
Now there's no question what the Chargers have to do here. 4th and 1.
Oh.
Boy, I would hate to be Don Coryell right now.
Oh.
Your whole season, Gene, in essence, is in the balance of this one play.
There's Dave Levy with the headsets on the sideline. He's telling those guys to hurry it up. I don't want to get caught with the delay of the game penalty.
Fouts is throwing the ball for Winslow. First down. I cannot believe that play selection.
Well, that is having confidence in your ability to throw the football. When you're in this situation and you decide to put it in the air, you have supreme confidence in your ability to throw and catch.
I can't believe the play selection on 4th and less than 1. San Diego with a first down. They're 25th today. If it works, you'll look like a genius.
But why not? This is a football team that earns its living through the air.
And when you don't have Chuck Muncie, you've got to get it to somebody who can get the first down. Here comes Jimmy Brooks. Flag is down. And James Brooks is down. Leroy Selman. Nothing wrong with his ankle. And it is against San Diego. That's the first penalty in the second half. And a big, big penalty it is. And you wonder what's going through Rolf Benerschke's mind here with 2:05 to play in this game. He was in this same spot a year ago.
25 offense. He moved while the man was in motion. Penalty refused. Second down.
I can't believe they refused that penalty. I mean, Rolf Benerschke, even right there, is close to field goal range. They're going to take the down. So instead of 1st and 16, it'll be 2nd and 11. Keep that one in mind. For Winslow. He's got it. And they now have the ball at the Tampa Bay 27-yard line. And we are at the 2-minute warning. 1:56 and holding. San Diego with 2 timeouts remaining. Tampa Bay has all of theirs. And there is the man who could possibly win it for the San Diego Chargers. We'll be back in a moment. Bill Stone and Gene Washington as we take a look at John McKay, whose decision it was, Gene, to not take the penalty, but to take the down away from the Chargers. And you have to wonder about that.
Well, maybe his thinking is that if San Diego kicks the field goal, they make it. It allows him more time on the clock to get the football and go back down for his own try. You see, if he takes the first down, now that takes more time off the clock. I think it was a good call because I don't think unless San Diego turns the ball over, they're going to get a shot at the field goal anyway.
And the guy you were just looking at, Bill Capice, has missed an extra point. And that missed extra point could possibly give San Diego a 1-point victory. Bounce right over the middle to Winslow, and look at the determination of Kellen Winslow. The clock continues to run. Norris Thomas on the stop. Boy, Phelps almost went down in a heap.
That's because Tampa Bay brought some more people trying to put pressure on. But Kellen Winslow comes up with a terrific catch right into traffic. Fights for that extra yard. It's just a super effort on his part.
Now the 72,128 who have jammed Tampa Stadium are unquestionably watching this clock. 1:20 to play in the game. San Diego trailing by 2. James Brooks. Oh, did he take a hit? There's David Lewis. And there's Rolf Benerschke. San Diego with 2 timeouts. You can bet they will not take any of them. But Tampa Bay will. They're kind of sensing there's a good chance the Chargers will take a lead, and they're going to need some time when and if that happens. Oh, what a ball game we have here. Look at this one at Three Rivers. Cincinnati is leading the Steelers still 17-10. That game now in the 4th quarter. Green Bay, oh boy, that's a final now. Over New Orleans 35-7. That puts the Packers right back in the hunt in the NFC Central. Buffalo continues to lead the Pats by 9. The Giants all over the Cardinals 20-3 in the 4th. Washington a laugher over the Colts. But then again, everybody a laugher over Baltimore this year. Miami continues to lead Kansas City 10-7. That game now in the 3rd quarter. Defensive game. That one is at Arrowhead Stadium. If Kansas City loses, they are, for all intents and purposes, out of the AFC chase, AFC West chase. And that certainly sets up quite a tussle next week at the Orange Bowl, when Miami will host the Buffalo Bills for the AFC East title. The one you have to talk about are the 2 that are being affected in this game here, Gene, the NFC Central and the AFC West.
Well, there's Bill Capice, who missed that extra point. Could prove to be very critical. There's Ralph Benerschke. If Tampa Bay isn't careful on defense, Benerschke may not have to come on the field at all.
That's very true. We've been talking field goal. The Chargers certainly have the weaponry to shove it in the end zone. Second and 9, right up the middle. Capoletti. And he'll get possibly a yard. 58 seconds to play. The clock is stopped. And you've got to believe, Gene, the Chargers will keep it on the ground as Tampa has called still another timeout. No, in essence, they're almost conceding the field goal. They just want to keep some time. I want to remind you, the executive producer of NBC Sports is Don Ohlmeyer. Football coordinating producer Ted Nathanson. The telecast of today's game has been produced by Michael Weisman, directed by John Gonzalez, technical director Lenny Stucker, associate director is Randolph Wands. And the other folks who have made today's game possible, what a job you have done. We thank you. It has been superb. Now, don't forget, if the San Diego Chargers wins this ball game, they are really in the hunt for the AFC Western Division title, depending on what Seattle and Denver do today. If Tampa Bay loses today, and they are winning right now, but if Tampa Bay loses, that throws the NFC Central right down to the final game of the year. It will be decided possibly in Detroit. But as we said, Green Bay is still in this thing. As is Minnesota. On 3rd and 6, James Brooks trying to get to the outside. And he is tripped up there by Cedric Brown. And had Brown not gotten there, that was touchdown time for the Chargers. And Tampa Bay will utilize its last timeout in this ball game with 48 seconds on the clock. And a 4th down for San Diego. Rolf Benirschke is on. Dan Fouts trots off. Benirschke a week ago had a chance, almost had a chance, to try and win the game for the San Diego Chargers against the Buffalo Bills. Chuck Muncie coughed up the football inside the 20-yard line. Buffalo took over, held on to win the game. Earlier this year in San Diego, Benirschke did win a game against the Kansas City Chiefs with a 3-pointer with 11 seconds on the clock. Now he has a chance to do it again. 48 seconds remain in this ball game. Tampa Bay leads it 23-21. A 3-pointer now would give San Diego the lead, 24-23.
Tampa Bay, with that timeout, they want Rolf Benirschke to think about this field goal. And I tell you, there's an awful lot of pressure on anyone in this situation.
Ed Luther will put it down. It is perfect. And look at the reaction by the Chargers. It is perfect. And look at the reaction by the Chargers. Rolf Benirschke being congratulated by everybody. And don't you know, this man is a happy guy.
He's out on the field. Don Coryell coming out to meet his kicker, who drilled it right through the uprights. In what may be the most pressure-packed situation this year for him. Look at the crowd. They're totally stunned. Their team has played excellent football today. That missed extra point figures in so much at this point right here in the ballgame.
A 29-yard field goal by Rolf Benirschke, his 16th field goal in 23 attempts, and look at Coryell's reaction. He just comes running out on the field. I think he just like to suit up. He'd like to play these last 45 seconds. Marv Braden talking to Rolf Benirschke as Rolf trots onto the field, and you wonder now whether Rolf will try and boot it deep or to hit a squibber. Take a look at this field goal again from Ed Luther's hold. Oh, it is perfect.
Keeps his head down, just like a golf swing. But, Bill, let's get back to that decision that Coach McKay made not to take the penalty. I think this is the very reason he made that decision. Doesn't have a lot of time, but he does have 45 seconds on the clock. They still can win the football game.
The other side of that coin is you put San Diego in a 1st and 15 situation. Perhaps then They use its different plays, different play selection.
Except that Bernurska's field goal made it by enough to keep him 10 yards further back. He still would have made it.
It'll be James Owens at the 3. And he's out across the 27 near the 28-yard line. And 7 more seconds tick off the clock. 38 seconds remaining in this game, and watch out. Doug Williams and Kevin House have been in this position before. Try 7 days ago.
There are a couple of things that can happen when you throw the football down the field. Your man can catch it. You can get pass interference. They're going to put it down there. The other team can come up with an interception, but at this point, you've got to air it out.
The clock running, 36 seconds. Williams, a little flare pattern to Wilder. And the clock continues to run. Tampa Bay cannot stop it. No timeouts remaining. There you see the time as they try and line up and get the ball out of bounds to stop it. And then again, they may send House long. Flags are down.
Offsides against the Chargers, I think, unless there was illegal motion. But
it is against Tampa.
Probably illegal
Ball
motion.
start, 61 offense.
Greg Roberts, right guard.
I want to thank our statistician Steve Dans, our assistant statsman Todd Kucharik, our spotters Keith Nelson and Ray Mull.
Doug Williams has got to get this football downfield. His offensive linemen have got to give him enough time to allow him to get back, let one of his receivers get downfield and throw the football and take their chances.
Second down and 11 with 19 seconds to play. To Wilder, and he gets out of bounds this time. And the man who took him out was Allen Ellis. Don't you know the Detroit Lions are a happy, happy group of guys. The Chargers with a 24-23 lead, walking a tightrope here with 13 seconds to play. But remember, just a week ago, the Bucs were trailing the Atlanta Falcons when Williams uncorked the 71-yarder to number 89, Kevin House. Third and 2. Clock running, 12 seconds remaining. And Williams was looking for Wilder. He almost found Allen Ellis. Williams is taken down. Pressure there by John Woodcock. Leroy Kilcher was also in the Tampa Bay backfield. So it all boils down to this play. Gene Washington, it is 4th and 2, but more importantly, they are 63 yards away from what they need most. And only 9 seconds to get there.
He has not gotten the amount of time that is necessary to allow his receivers who are going to be bumped to the line of scrimmage to get downfield far enough to catch the ball. He's going to need more time. He may have to scramble around.
Williams is going to go for it all. Interception. It's picked off. There's no time remaining.
Glenn Edwards, he's going to run out the clock unless he fumbles this ball.